knows how to party. That's what they say. That's what they say. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Yay! Guess where I am going? I am on my way to a doctor's appointment, specifically to my OBGYN, who I have actually not seen in a couple of years. This specific doctor was the doctor that did my endometriosis surgery. Yes, we are talking endometriosis again. And thankfully, it's not bad news, because after my surgery, I have been feeling amazing. I haven't gotten the pains that I used to get anymore. If you don't know what endometriosis is, I want to read it to you guys straight from Google. It is a disorder in which tissue similar to the tissue that lines the uterus grows outside the uterus in places where it doesn't belong. With endometriosis, deposits of tissue that act just like the tissue lining the uterus develop outside of the uterus. This tissue thickens, breaks down, and bleeds with each period, which is so painful. But the blood has no way to leave the body and becomes trapped. Painful periods can happen with endometriosis. There may be heavy bleeding or pain during sex or when having a bowel movement or urinating. Having trouble getting pregnant is also common with endometriosis. Cancelado. 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 But I haven't tried, so cancelado. But yes, my periods growing up were absolutely insane, to the point where I could not stand sometimes. Anytime that I needed to use the bathroom, or that I needed to urinate, or a bowel movement, anything, like, it would hurt so much. And through all the research that I did at the time, and just all of the pains that I was feeling, I found some people that would compare the pain that you feel with endometriosis to giving birth, to labor. And I'm like, well, if I've been through this, I guess I can, give birth without any medication. Not that that's my plan ever, but the point here is that endometriosis is a disease that, number one, unless they do surgery on you, can they actually verify that that is what you have. And if you've been here a long time, you know that I suffered with this pain for so long, and I had to go through multiple doctors who didn't want to do surgery on me because I was only 20, 21, and their opinion was that they shouldn't do surgery on me because I was too young. And here's the thing with endometriosis. There is a chance that depending on how severe it is, you can lose your ovaries, which it's a huge deal. It's a humongous deal. All right, you guys, so I just parked, and as I drove into this parking lot, I started to feel not so great. And it's because our body holds memories of places, people, things. And I had not been back to this place since I had the surgery. As I was on my way over here, I'm meditating on everything that I went through regarding endometriosis and everything that I've been through. And before that, like I said, my periods were so painful, and existing was just so painful. The amount of times I had to go to urgent care, the emergency room, to the doctors, the amount of devices that were inserted into me to see what I had going on down there, that was traumatic on its own. This whole experience is such an emotional experience because, number one, it has to do with your reproductive system. So as a woman, most of us want to, be mothers. I know at some point eventually I would like to be a mother. And when I was so young, at 21 years old, when I was trying to do all the research that I could because I wasn't getting the right answers, and the doctors were telling me that my condition was something else, they weren't really giving me straight answers, because like I said, until you actually have the surgery, can they officially say that you have endometriosis. However, before that, everything that I was experiencing, it was like so many unanswered concerns, so much emotionally that I experienced, that even right now, like just thinking about it, it like gives me a loss of words, like it just puts me to think about the fact that I really went through hell and back when it comes to this. And as always, every experience that I have been through, I give glory to God because he's taken me from that, right? And he's healed me. So after I went through my surgery, I was diagnosed with stage 4 endometriosis. There are 4 stages, so I had the worst stage that you can have, hence why my pain was so dramatic. I literally could not walk sometimes, and thankfully, when they did my surgery, they were able to save both of my ovaries. Now, the reason why I'm here today is actually because ever since then, I have been on birth control. So I have been taking the pill. Thankfully, on my application, I'm able to just request a refill and it gets shipped to my house. However, this time that I requested it, I actually got contacted by my doctor's office and was like, hey, your doctor would actually like to see you because it's been some years now since you've had your surgery, so he wants to check you out before he actually gives you the medication. And I'm like, oh yeah, like let's go, you know, like great, because I have actually for some time this year been thinking about getting off of birth control just to see how my body reacts, just to see how I react, and just to no longer be giving myself hormones that I may or may not necessarily need. Now, I've also suffered from other things such as acne, such as being overweight, such as, you know, just things that some I could control and some that I couldn't. And birth control for me has been a bad experience. It's actually been beneficial in different ways. So, you know, like I'm okay with it. However, I've been wanting to get off of it because I'm like, well, I'm also not sexually active. So like, do I actually really need it? And after I had my surgery, my doctor actually recommended for me to stay on birth control unless I was trying to, of course, have a child, because birth control also helps to keep your bleeding at a minimum when you're on your periods. So the less you bleed, the less pain you would potentially feel, or I would potentially feel. So I stayed on birth control and that was okay with me. So I'm actually excited to be here, and I'm actually excited that I was able to book this appointment and that they reached out to me so that I can get those questions answered and to see what's next, you know, to see if we could try me getting off of birth control, to see how my body reacts, to see what happens, and go from there. I really believe, like I said, that ever since I had my surgery, my periods, of course, because of the birth control, are not very long, and they're also not very heavy, thankfully. They're absolutely not painful. I may get bloated a little bit, but in my opinion, most of the bloating comes from, number one, the food that I consume sometimes. So like dairy, sugar, foods with certain oils that inflame your body. So if my diet is not being watched, then that's when I have some sort of bloating or some sort of pain, but never to the degree of the pain that I felt back in the day, which I am so grateful for. Like I am beyond grateful for that. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get some questions answered, and I'm excited to share that with you guys, because I know that ever since I shared about my journey with endometriosis, so many of you guys had questions, and that was actually the reason why I started doing YouTube, when I was going through all these changes and just a lot of things in my life. And endometriosis was one of the things where I felt that there wasn't enough awareness, where I felt that women were getting sent left and right, but not giving direct information of the pain that they were feeling, of the disorder that they had. And I think there wasn't enough research done, because a lot of doctors at the time would just want to give you some sort of medication to alleviate whatever pain you were feeling in that moment, but not to treat the actual condition. So I'm happy to be here now years later and share the success that I've had throughout my disorder, and how I'm no longer, thankfully, like going through those pains or feeling those things. So we'll see what the doctor says. Every single thing that is in the description of what endometriosis is, I have felt. Pain during periods, I have felt. The blood, the clots that would come out, like I have literally experienced every single symptom that this comes with. And it's kind of crazy because, like I said, now to be here and after having the surgery, like I remember if there's one thing about me, is I won't tell my mom the severity of a lot of things until like it's time to go. So I remember I didn't even tell her that I could potentially lose my ovaries in this surgery. And I remember the day of that I was going into the surgery, I asked her to pray for me, and I told her, like, it makes me want to cry right now because I told her, like, please pray for my kids, like, please pray for my ovaries, like, please pray that I'm able to keep these, because eventually, like, this is what I want. And like, I've always believed that being a mother is my purpose in life, you know. So it gets me super emotional because here I am today, you know, like, free of, thankfully, endometriosis, and healthy. And though I don't always make the most healthy choices for myself, I do try to keep a balanced diet, and I do try to keep, like, certain things that I can control balanced. And I try to stay active, and I try to stay fit, and I try to, you know, do things for my vessel and myself. But at this time, like, this was something that really, 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 like, it was traumatic. It made me sad, you know, and I know a lot of you guys may know someone, or you yourselves may be experiencing such pain. And as always, like, there is hope, you know, like, there is hope. And nowadays we have so much more information out here that we can share with others, and can also be shared with us, so that we feel less alone. So I'm excited for today's appointment. I'm excited for what they're gonna tell me. I'm excited to see the doctor. I literally I have not seen this doctor in some years now. And yeah, I mean, I've had my regular checkups somewhere else, but like my OBGYN that took care of my endometriosis, like him specifically, I have not seen. So I'm excited to say hello. I'm excited to, you know, like, just share with him my experiences with this specific disorder, and hopefully, like, able to move forward now, and able to move past it and continue on. Because is there a chance that this could come back? Yes, there is. Hence why right after your surgery, they recommend that you stay on birth control, and you do it for as long as, obviously, that you're not trying to birth a child, or you're not trying to get pregnant, which I haven't been, right? So I have been on birth control, and I've been taking it religiously. And I make sure that I do certain things to make my journey a little bit easier. So again, the things that have worked for me don't necessarily mean that it'll work for everyone, but I do share my story, and I do share what's told to me, so that maybe you have another perspective, and maybe you have another opinion, or someone else that has also experienced something like this. So I'll let you guys know what happens after my appointment. And I'm excited. I'm hopeful. As always, I remain very, very positive through all of the things that I have been through. And it's kind of crazy right now that I'm even saying this and I'm thinking about it, because I literally just celebrated the bankruptcy clearing from my credit report from 7 years ago, which was a whole other emotional and financial turmoil that I went through. And then now this medical, physical, emotional turmoil that I'm going through, like, it's kind of crazy. And I don't think anything is a coincidence in my life. So I am, you know, first of all, extremely grateful for what God has done in my life, and in the ways that he has shown himself to me, and the people that he has sent in and out of my life for whatever reasons. Like, I am excited, and I know it's not a coincidence, and I know there's a reason why. Again, at the same time that I'm celebrating such success, like, I'm also here to celebrate something else. Like, I just know I'm gonna come back to you guys, and I'm gonna be able to celebrate another thing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you guys in a bit. Yay! God is so big. So big. I don't care what anyone tells you. God is so big. You guys, I just left my appointment, and I am so happy to tell you that the physical exam that I was done, which, baby, when I was laying there, I literally told the doctor, it's the same doctor, right? I literally told the doctor, I do not miss this. Like, I do not miss. He literally came in there and he was like, Amy, like, I haven't seen you in so long. You haven't come and visit. I'm like, I don't want to come and visit. Like, you are not the person I want to see very often. Nothing personal, but I was literally here like monthly, you know, because of the pains, because of the tests, because of everything. So my surgery was in May of 2019. It's officially been 5 years. 2017 was when I started to talk to you guys about these issues, and it took obviously a very long time for me, because before 2017 I had been having these pains since I was around 20 to 21 years old, and so it had been years. Finally in 2019 I got the surgery. And today, everything looks absolutely normal. Yes. So good. We went over getting off of birth control or staying on birth control. One of the things that I asked him was, is it safe for me to get off of birth control? And of course, every person is different, because depending on whether or not you are sexually active, then you should take care of yourself in the ways that you should take care of yourself. And if you're trying to get pregnant, if you are currently with a partner or not, if you're whatever it is that your situation is, like, everything is a factor. So for me, in this time in my life, I'm like, I'm not sexually active, so I'm not taking it for those purposes, and I really want to test out. I feel like right now is the perfect time to test out, because I don't have anyone that I'm dating, and I also have been on birth control since then. Like, is it a good time to try to see if how my body reacts? So for me personally, it is. And I'm gonna be off of birth control. I'm gonna test it out for the next 3-4 months, see how my body reacts, see how my periods react, see whether or not I feel pain or not. Like, everything is gonna be a test. So I'm gonna make sure to like write notes down for myself and make sure if I'm feeling any sort of pain, that of course, like, I reach out or I say whatever I need to say. But I am so happy. Like, God is big. God is so big. The fact that I can come back 5 years later and say, like, there's absolutely no pain that I have been feeling. Like, there's absolutely nothing that is wrong physically with me now. Like, I'm healed, you know? And the power of the tongue is not a joke. I will continue to say this time and time again. Like, what you say, what comes out of your mouth has power. What you continue to tell yourself, what you continue to tell others, it has power. So the more you express yourself in a negative way about yourself and others, that's what you continue to attract. I have been saying years after years after years that I am healed from this. Because the emotional and physical pain that I have gone through, unless you have felt it yourself, you have absolutely no idea what this feels like. And that's with everything, you know? But thank you guys so much for being with me in this journey, and for being so empathetic towards my situation. Even if you personally haven't been through it, there's so many of you guys who have reached out and have told me, like, my wife, my girlfriend, my sister, my mom, my this, like, so many of you guys who have reached out, and we're not alone, you know? And it's unfortunate that this happens. It's unfortunate that a lot of things happen, but I have a big God who heals. And I have a big God, and we have a big God who does the miraculous, and who does things that you would never think he's going to do. And in the time that you think it's not going to happen, that's when it happens. Oh, I'm emotional. I'm emotional, but I am so grateful. Like, I am beyond grateful for this. So I'm gonna be experimenting with my body. I'm gonna be seeing what happens, what I do, just see how my body reacts to periods and stuff like that. If you guys want me to share those experiences, let me know down below. But I'm here. I'm healed. I'm bankruptcy free. Like, I am financially stable. I am happy, you know, like so many things happen and so many things can bring us down and so many things and experiences and a bunch of things. But here we are, alive, healthy, and continuing on. Baby, it's time to praise, because I'm gonna praise the Lord in the valley and in the mountain. Like, there's absolutely no one else that gets this credit. No one else. You know that feeling that you get when you see people that you haven't seen in a while? And they're good people, you know, like seeing the doctor today, it was amazing. Like, he like gave me a hug, you know, like we've obviously interacted. So like we were very close at some point. And what I mean by close, I just mean like I came here so often, like they had not seen me in 5 years, y'all. And he actually used to be my mom's OBGYN as well, so he knows my mom. So it's nice, you know, to obviously see a familiar face, but still, like I told him, like I was like, as great as it was to see you, I hope I don't have to see you again, like anytime soon. Thankfully, I'm not due for my pap smear yet. My pap smear, I think, is due until next year. But the test that I got done, like I said, like I did not miss that at all. Like, I did not miss that at all. Gracias, Diosito. Gracias. Time to go get myself something to eat. So I will see you guys on the next video. I love you. Please look at everything that is working out right now in your life. Whatever that is. Look for the small things, look for the big things, look for what is working out. Because if we focus on what is working out, things will continue to work out. I promise you. And you're gonna have so much more hope in your life. I love you. Until the next one. Bye.